What is up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, The Budgeting Biologist. My name is Brittany. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping on this little old video. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. Today's video is going to be a closeout of my budget for August 2022. So if you're interested in that, please consider giving this video a like, commenting, and of course, subscribing to my growing family here on this channel. I would really appreciate it. And with that, let's hop into this video. So just like that, another month has come and gone. We are headed into September. I, for one, am really excited. While summer is my personal favorite season, I literally love summer. I love the heat. I love being outside. I just love summer everything. I am excited about fall, decorating this apartment, getting some real fall decor. And I guess so my question for today's video is put down one thing you're really excited about for fall this year. So like I mentioned, we're gonna be working on closing out my budget for August 2022. So first things first, we are going to look at my income. Now, I had originally budgeted for the month about $5,000 of income for August, and what I actually got paid was $2,428.38. Whoops, gotta do that again. So $2,428.38. Multiply that times 2. I wound up getting paid $4,856.76. Now this is because I did change my 401k contributions at my job, and now I am maxing them out. And so that means my actual take-home pay is going to be a little bit lower because I'm maxing out my 401k. So for savings, I had said that I was going to be able to put aside $2,500. Now, I am aware that, I'm very fortunate that I'm able to put away, in general, about half of my money into various savings accounts. And I'm very fortunate for that. But I do want to say that I am essentially a single person. Like, I do live with my boyfriend, but we don't have any kids or a mortgage or anything like that, and I don't have any debt really. So that is why I'm able to put away $2,500 a month into savings. But don't base your financial journey on someone else's. Put away whatever you can to savings. I don't care if that's $100 a month. It is better than nothing, and that adds up over time. So this is just, my kind of journey, at least for right now. And that $2,500, $1,000 goes to my personal savings, $1,000 goes to my house fund for future down payment, and then $500 goes to a Roth IRA. And for August, I was able to put aside $2,500 for various savings. Next is household, and household for me includes rent, my half of our rent, water, electric, Wi-Fi, and so rent, water, electric, and Wi-Fi, and then miscellaneous money. And so for that, we typically do, I think we do, so if we do $1,300 minus $200 for groceries, which I'm going to talk about later, for our household expenses, we budget $1,100 each a month. And what it actually wound up being is my rent was $920. Our water bill was only $26.77. We budgeted $50 each, and it was only $26.77 per person. Electric was only $39 per person. We budget for, We budget for $50 a person. Wi-Fi was only $56 a person. We budget for, how much we budget? $60, so that was also under. And then we always put $20 each for miscellaneous, meaning that what we actually spent on household is $1,061.77. I'm just gonna round that to $1,062, which is great, which means we came well under what we budgeted, and that extra money is just gonna stay into basically that account that I share with my boyfriend where all our bills are paid out of. So that's just gonna stay in there and basically roll over to the next month, and that money is gonna keep growing. We use that money occasionally for the dog that we just got. We use it sometimes when we're like out and we wanna treat, we wanna treat ourselves, and we don't want to take money out of our own accounts. We have a little bit of extra money in the joint one, so all that money is just going to stay there. My cell phone bill, I did a budget for $37.70, and my bill was $37.70. Apple, which is my Apple Music Student and my iCloud, I have budgeted $7.28, and indeed it was $7.28. Next is groceries. So for my half of our groceries each month, I put $200 into that account that I mentioned earlier. And, my boyfriend puts $200, so gives us $400 a month for groceries total. And for my portion, or basically half of what we spent, I budgeted it $200. But what we actually spent was $182.62. Again, under our initial what we budgeted, and that money's gonna stay in that joint account. So far this month, we have done really good in terms of our spending. I'm gonna talk about the categories that I did spend over in and what I'm gonna do to kind of reconcile those categories. So for gas, I budgeted $80 this month for gas, and I only spent $40 in total, which is really nice. I'm still not sure when I'm going back into the office, but I work 4 days a week at home, and technically I'm supposed to come into my office 1 day a week. I didn't really do that in August, but I'm going to have to do that in September. So hopefully the $80 will be able to be stretched over September, going into my office 1 day a week. Beauty, we did budget $50 for beauty this month. I spent $0 of it. And I think I'm just gonna roll over that money until next month. Shopping, which used to be personal, but I expanded the category, included other things in it, so now I call it shopping. I put in there $100. So originally this envelope had only $70, but I did get rid of my alcohol envelope, which had $30 in it, and I put that into shopping to give it a total of $100. And in total, this month in shopping, I spent $80.69. And then fun, which is basically all things entertainment. I think I actually have it labeled as entertainment in my envelope, but this is basically entertainment, going out with my friends, my boyfriend, things like that. I budgeted $200, and I winded up spending $151.80. And I just realized I forgot to put how much I should have left over in these envelopes. So I'm gonna add that really quickly. All right, so through the magic of editing, I'm back. So I added up how much money I have left over in each one of these categories. We were at spending, and spending is pretty much the only money that I actually carry with me in my physical wallet. Everything else stays at home. So in spending, I set aside this month $70. I spent in total $56.42. which means left over, I should have $13.58 left over. For giving, I give myself, but I allot myself $10 a month for giving. This month, I gave away $9, which means I have $1 left over. And then for eating out, this is the first time this has happened to me in a long time, but I actually did go over in eating out. I set aside $65 in eating out. I winded up spending $66.22, which means I went over by a total of $1.22. Not too bad, but you know, still a little bit more than what I budgeted. So we're gonna move on to our sinking fund. So in my Christmas sinking fund, I started off with $120. Plus and minus is basically money that I add, and then if I spent any money out of that category. I didn't spend any money out of Christmas, and I put in 40, which means we should have $160 in that envelope. Gifts, I started off the month with $160. I added 30, which means we should have 190 currently in gifts. And car maintenance, I did add some money to this envelope, and I also did spend some of the money, but we started off with $170 in car maintenance. And I just got to update my kind of tracker there. In car maintenance, I started off with $170. I added 10 and then spent $45.61 on an oil change. So overall, we have a minus of $35.61, leaving us with a balance of $134.39 that we should have in car maintenance. Clothes. Now here's a category that I went over. Basically anything with a star is a category that I went over in. So in clothes, I started off with $50. And I did add some money to clothes in my sinking funds. Not my sinking fund video, my paycheck budget and my paycheck cash stuffing number 2, which I will link up in the cards. I did put some money in that. So I put $40 total in that envelope, which would have gave me 90 to start with. But I bought clothes all throughout the month, and let me explain why. So one, I like desperately needed new bras. The bras that I currently was wearing, I've been wearing those for like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years at this point. So I've like lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, gained weight. So I just needed new bras. And then also I did go ahead and buy some clothes just in case I do start going into the office more often. And I also needed some clothes to teach in as well. So I bought some clothes for that too. So when I add everything up, including the money that I put into it, I spent a total of $131.33. And this is including the 40 extra dollars that I had added to it, which means we have a negative balance right now in this envelope of, whoops, not $80, but $81.33. So basically, I need to be able to pay myself back this $88.33. That's probably gonna have to come out of my buffer. I don't think I want to take it out of savings. I'm probably going to take it out of my buffer. Same thing up here. This is going to come out of my buffer. Brittany, which is my own personal sinking fund, started off with $71. Didn't spend any money out of here. I did add 30. So right now in Brittany, we should have $101. Electronics. I started off electronics with $86. I did go ahead and spend some money and as well as add some money. But in total, if I look at, you know, what I put in versus what I spent, when I add that up in total, I need to take out $13.32, and that will leave me with $73.09. And I do round to the nearest dollar when I'm actually taking the money out of my envelopes, and you will see that during the cash unstuffing portion of this video. Vacation, I started off with $275. I added 100, didn't spend anything yet, so I should have $375. Future, which I started off the month with $204. I added 100, but I did spend some money out of Future. I couldn't figure out what category to spend out of, basically. So I had to buy like some office supplies for my job and to teach, and it really didn't fit in any other category other than that I'm going to need it in the future. So I went ahead and took it out of future, and if I account for that purchase plus the $100 I put in total, we have a plus amount of $61.84, which means in future we should have $265.84. Next is YouTube. YouTube, I started off the month with $87. I put $20 into YouTube, and then I did my very first giveaway, and I gave the winner a $20 Amazon gift card. So that means in total, if we account for both of those purchases, not purchases, but both of those transactions, we have a net of $0, which means we should have $87 left over in our YouTube envelope. Shop small, I started off with $48 this month. I haven't spent any of the money. I put in $20, which means in shop small, we should have $68. Medical, I did go ahead and I started with $156. I did not spend anything out of medical. It's plus of $30. And that means in medical, we should have $186. And then lastly, the last category, and the category that I went over in the most was car insurance. So this month we started off with $440 in car insurance. I added $88. So if I did 440 plus 88, that means I have $528. Now, my car insurance 6-month premium suddenly went up to $700, and I called Geico in like a panic. I saw that my next 6-month premium was going to be like $700, and basically they explained it as inflation, people aren't driving as much, people are having to get more car repairs. So even though my driving history is, you know, basically spotless, overall premiums went up for everybody. But I was like over $150 from, you know, the previous 6 months. Like, that was not acceptable. So I called them, and through some additional discounts and changing how much my deductible is, my new car insurance premium for the next 6 months is $552.35. So if I add that to the money that I had in there, which is $528. I did go over in this category. So it's a net minus of, what is this? $464.37, which means we have a net loss of, in this category, $24.37. So in total of what I'm gonna have to take out of my buffer, I have $1.22 for going over and eating out, $81.33 from clothes, and then $24.37 from my car insurance, which means I need to be taking out a total of $106.92, or $107 from my buffer. That's okay. I have currently in my buffer around like $1,300, so that's perfectly fine. As long as I don't have to take it out of my savings, I'm good. So let's hop into the cash unstuffing portion of this video. Now that we have closed out our budget, food is also known as eating out in my new relabeled envelope. And I started off with $65. I actually spent $66.22. And I already did unstuff some of this money. So we currently have $20, $25, $30, $31 in this envelope, and all of it needs to basically be unstuffed. So I have the money that is currently going towards my credit card, and this is additional money that will be going towards, of course, my credit card. Okay. Next is gas, and gas should have $40 left over, so $20.40, so we don't need to unstuff anything there. This is actually going to be going towards various savings challenges, so I am going to go ahead and set this off to the side to redistribute amongst savings challenges. All right, next is beauty, and This money will be rolling over to the next month. Again, I didn't spend any, so we have 20, 40, 45, 50. And this money will be staying right where it is because I'm gonna need it in September. Groceries, currently in groceries right now, we have 100, 105, 107, 108. And in total in groceries, after we account for our additional spending, we should have $17.38. I'm gonna round to 17. And I do use prop money to stuff groceries. So we should have 10, 15, 17, and I don't know why I grabbed an additional one, but it should be $17 left over in groceries. And this is basically just representative of what was spent out of that joint account. So I'm gonna remove this money. So we have $17 left over in groceries. That will be rolled over to next month. Pet, we haven't stuffed anything. This is a new envelope for September. Entertainment, also known as fun, started off with $200 in this envelope, spent $151.80, which means we should have $48 left over in this envelope. So we have 40. Oh, and we're starting off with 20, 40, 60, 80, and we need to have $48 left over. So that's 45. That's 47. And I don't have enough ones yet, so I'm gonna have to add an additional one to this envelope of what we should have left over. And all this money is going to be going towards savings challenge anyways. So I do owe myself an additional $1 to go towards my savings challenges. So we have 20, 40, 45, 46, 47. It should be 48. And I need to come up with an additional $1 somewhere. Shopping, started off with 100, spent $80.69. So I'm gonna round that to 81, which means we should have $19 left over. Actually, I'm gonna round what I spent to $80, which means we should have $20 left over. And then, do I wanna do that or do I wanna leave it as 19 left over? It depends on, do I have enough ones? So we have 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then $20 towards the credit card. And then we have 19 left over, which will be going towards various savings challenges. Yeah, let's do it that way. So 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So yeah, $19 we had left over from shopping, and we'll be going towards savings challenges. Spending and giving, like I mentioned, are in my wallet. So spending, we started off with 70. I already unstuffed some of this money. We should be ending with $13.58. I'm gonna leave it as having $13 left over. So let's see if we can get 13. Can we do it? 2 5s and 3 1s. The rest will be going towards my credit card. So we have 5, 10, 11, 12, 13 left over in spending. That will be going towards my various savings challenges. And then lastly is giving. And giving, we did spend $9. I have $1 left over going towards savings challenges. And I do have a little bit of change, so I'm gonna grab that change, and that's gonna go in my change jar. Haven't put anything in here in a while, so not quite sure what I have. Let's see. So currently in here, we have $14.94. That does not include these $1 bills. These $1 bills are from my $1 savings challenge. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to fixing up our sinking funds. So I should have $73.90 left over in electronics. So let's see, I'm gonna round that to 73. So we have what is that? 60, 70, 72, 73. So this envelope is already good to go. So we don't need to worry about electronics. Brittany, I didn't spend any money out of, so we don't need to worry about that. I didn't spend money out of vacation. Car maintenance. I need to make sure it has the correct amount of money in it. So it has 100, 120, 130, 132, 134. We are good for car maintenance. Let's see, didn't spend any money out of Christmas, so don't need to do anything there. Clothes, we are taking all the money that we currently have in clothes, which is 20, 40, 60, 62. And like I said, I'm gonna have to make up some of that extra money, that $81.33, with money from my buffer. Gifts, we didn't spend anything out of. YouTube, we did. So in YouTube, I should have left over $87. So right now we have 50, 70, 90, 100, 105, 107. We need to take 20 bucks out, leaving us with 50, 70, 80, 85, 87 in YouTube. Shop small, I didn't take anything out of. Future, I did spend some money out of Future. And out of Future, we should have $265 left over. So we have 100, 150, 100, 200, 250, 300, 302, we have 304, and we need to have $265. So there's 250. And this, of course, is prop money. So I will be using my prop money to basically make sure I have the proper amount of money in it. So let's see. So like I said, we need to have $265. So there's 200, there's 60. 60, and do I have a 5 anywhere? 265. So we can do 264, and the rest of this goes towards my credit card. That means I owe myself $1 in Future at this point. So I owe myself $1 in Future, and I do owe my savings challenge $1, but I think for the purpose of my budget, I think I'm just gonna let it go. Just like let that $1 go. So we have $264. How can we do this? No, so I should have 265. Let's actually round to having $266 left over in Future. So there. Okay, so that makes more sense, right? So we have 10, 100, 200, 20, 40, 60. We had an extra 20 in there. So 100, 200, 20, 40, 60, 62, 64, 66. Okay, so Future is now good. So we have $266 because I rounded up instead of down this time. Okay, so Future is good. All right. Last is medical, and I didn't spend anything out of medical, so that is good to go. We do have one more envelope that we need to take money out of, which is insurance. And we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 450, 470, 480, 490, 500, 10, 20, 25, 27, 28. All of this is going to be going towards my credit card bill. And again, I'm gonna have to make up that $24.37 with money from my buffer. So before we do our final cash count, we need to put our leftover rollover money into our savings challenges. And I am so happy that we have a good amount of rollover money this month. Last month, your girl didn't have any, so this is great. Now, I could put this rollover money towards, like, you know, basically accounting for like what I overspent. Which was, if I add up what I overspent again, that's $1.22 plus $81.33 plus $24.37. Again, $107 I overspent this month. I'd rather take it out of my buffer because that is what my buffer is for. And this money can go towards savings challenges, which is, you know, something that I really do care about. So I'd rather take this out of my buffer than my rollover money, if that makes sense. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. $10 that we are going to be putting in our $1 savings challenge. I'm so happy. Like I said, last month, July, I literally had no money left over. So I'm really happy about this. So $10 towards that, plus the ones that I have in here. And I'm so excited to count that at the end of the year. And then we're adding 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to our $5 savings challenge. Again, I am so excited to count this at the end of the year. And then we have 20, 40, 60, 80. We have $80 left over in our rollover, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 envelopes to stuff. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and add $20 to each one of these savings challenges. So now in my $1,000 savings challenge, we have 100, 200, 250, 270, 280, 285, 290, 1, 2. So 292 in my $1,000 savings challenge. Oh, I'm so excited to have this much rollover left over. Zero out, we're gonna add 20. So we have 20, 40, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 65 and zero out. Yeah, I'm so geeked to have this much rollover. Like, I have not had this much rollover in a while. $20 into my cash emergency. So we have 100, 20, 40, 60, 65, 70, 1, 2, 3, 173. And then lastly, we are going to add money to investing. And now we have 20, 25, 30 in investing. Yay! This is so exciting, y'all. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is basically organize our money and do our final count. Okay, y'all, so the total amount of money that we're going to be putting towards our credit card is 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. Let me grab my handy dandy calculator. So we have 800 plus 50, 100, 150, plus 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 220, so 220, plus 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, plus 5, 10, 15, 20, plus 2, 4, 6, plus 1, 2. For a total of $1,248. I'm gonna add an additional thing. I wanna count up how much prop money that I have because that money is going to come out of my sinking funds savings account. So let me go back and separate out my prop money and count up how much money is going to be going towards my sinking funds savings account. I should have did this first instead of doing it last, but now I know it will make more sense if I do that first. Okay, so the amount of money that I need to go ahead and take out of my sinking fund savings account and then put that towards my credit card is 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 50, 100, 150, 20, 40, 10, 20, 40, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 5, 2, 4, 6, and then 1. So in total, we need to put $853 from my sinking fund savings account towards my credit card bill. Okay, y'all, that is going to end my video. If you did enjoy, again, please consider giving this video a like, commenting, and of course, subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And with that, I will see y'all next time. Bye.